Hi everyone. So in this video, I want to suspend the negative assumption and disbelief of unworthiness. So when we actually think that we are not worthy of our desires, we, as we know, are separating ourselves from the whole creation and from the whole reason of our existence. Because the fact that we exist actually means that we are worthy because we are part of a creational plan. We are part of the universe, and without our actual existence in this universe, there wouldn't be the universe that we are living in right now. So when we know that we are part of creation, we know then that we are absolutely worthy and valuable of everything that we desire. If we find ourselves separating ourselves through this disbelief of unworthiness, it just means that we are needing to identify limiting beliefs that have held us back from past experiences and from other beliefs that have been put upon us by society and parents and family and the way that we live in our reality. So with that being said, I know that when we go through things in life and our 3D can be so real to us, but in a sense, it's actually an illusion because it is all about our perception. And even when you look into your reality and you see somebody getting what you want, it is an actual essence of you in another form, in another reality, experiencing that reality. And the way that you interpret it is actually telling you how you are experiencing it for yourself through all your senses. So, what I mean by that is when you, for example, you're manifesting a new relationship and you see somebody in a relationship, a happy, healthy relationship, and your first thought is, let's say you are not in that relationship yet, but your first thought is, that's for me too, or you're so happy to see that. That is actually you, in a sense, experiencing that relationship already that you see with your eyes in front of you. Your perception is noticing that relationship because you know that you are in that relationship right now because everything exists right now. Now, if it isn't in your physicality that you are experiencing it with your five senses, you always know by the way you respond in the moment when you see evidence of it from outside sources. So if your reaction was to victimize yourself and say that's never going to happen for me, I'm doing all of this and I'm trying and I'm manifesting for such amount of time, I'm using my affirmations, I feel like I'm getting nowhere, and that is your reaction because you saw somebody in the relationship that you wanted, well then you know that you just have a little bit more of working on beliefs to sustain and maintain your confidence, and you're knowing within that everything that you are desiring exists right now in this moment, and that when we actually doubt and we feel like we're unworthy, all we're doing is separating ourselves from the experience. So for I hope I'm making sense here, but if you look out into your reality and you see somebody in it having exactly what you want, that is you experiencing it in that moment as well too, because everything exists right now in this moment. Now I know that you people can say, oh well, how is that possible, because I am not experiencing it with my senses, that's somebody else. But the fact that we are all one consciousness means that we are all one consciousness, means that when we look out into our reality, it's only our mind that is physically separating us, and it physically separates us by our thoughts and by the beliefs that we hold. So when we have a positive reaction to seeing that, saying, oh, that's for me too, I'm so excited, that's about to happen for me too, we know then that we're not separating ourselves because we know that we are connected through this experience of seeing that person in that relationship that we want. When we go down the other road and we start to victimize ourselves and worry about time, and we start to separate ourselves in that way of thinking that we're not valuable, that we're not worthy, that there's an exception for me, that I am obviously the most superior one here because I don't get what I want, but everybody else does. You know, if you see it in that way, it's actually more egotistical to go down that road because we are separating ourselves from the whole idea of creation and the whole idea that we are deserving and worthy of exactly what it is that we can imagine in our mind. So when we are manifesting for particular desires, it's never about not being worthy to have that desire. It's never about not being deserving of having that desire. This is why everything is instant, that you can manifest instantly as well too. The only way that we are not manifesting in things that we desire in a certain amount of time is simply because we are not ready to let go of the old story in that moment and allow ourselves to tell ourselves that this is happening right now for me. When we are feeling that we're not ready to let go, that is okay, because that in itself is an elevation process. It's a self-development process. Maybe there's a little bit of time that you need for yourself to get into that sustainable and that real shift within yourself, where you genuinely know that you are that you are someone who is going to be experiencing this actual reality that you desire. When you genuinely know this, it's not even a matter of affirming, it's not even a matter of doing techniques or anything like that. You are literally keeping your thoughts on check, and you're looking after yourself, and you're knowing this reality because it's who you are now. You shifted into it. So let's say, for example, you're somebody who is shifted into a new reality where you are manifesting a relationship. And let's say, for example, you manifest a relationship before, and you were the one that was always maybe doing the most, or you're the one that was always chasing after, or whatever it was. But when you actually genuinely shift into this new person, who, let's say, for example, you desire to attract them to you, allow them to come to you, you actually attract everyone that you want to you without you having to chase after them, or you're just genuinely being yourself. If you feel like you want to reach out to them or talk to them or anything like that, you're doing it because in that moment it's a true expression of yourself. It's not because you're chasing. If you don't reach out to them, and you allow them to reach out to you, you're doing it because you're in that genuine space of, this is who I am now, and of course I'm going to hear from that person. Sure, why wouldn't I be? It's like your friend, when you're when you know that your friend is going to be reaching out to you, unless you have some sort of belief or something that they're not going to. You're in that new way of being, that is the way that you live, and that is what you attract. That being in a consistent, loving, healthy relationship is normal for you, and you don't need to try or chase. And if somebody doesn't show up in the right way for you, it's not even going to get a reaction off you, because you're going to go on and still do everything, keeping your thoughts in check and looking after yourself. You're not even probably even going to be thinking about it, because you'd be the one that they're going to get in contact with you, because that's the genuine shift that you made, if that makes sense. Now, when we actually fall into disbelief, which is all it is, we're just kind of falling back into the old story. And I know that we are on this journey, we're not on this journey too long when you think of it. It's only been about 2 or 3 years of understanding fully the whole law of assumption, and wherever we are in our age and wherever we are and what we've experienced in our life, there's a little bit of a process to genuinely shift into this new way of being, to genuinely fall into that trust. If you are someone who experienced things that were undesirable before, if you were someone who always had negative thoughts about things, if you were someone who just went through an undesirable period of your life, it's not going to be everything is not going to come just instant into your reality. I mean, it can, because everything is possible, but it's to understand that you can soothe yourself and know that everything is changing. And just because I'm seeing this person having what I want quicker than I got it, doesn't mean that I'm not getting it, if that makes sense, or it doesn't mean that I already have it. The fact that I actually notice this person in the relationship that I want means that it's happening for me. And if I react to it in a way that tells me that it's not happening for me, well, then that's just me just doing that to myself. And all I have to do is give myself a break and tell myself, you know what, doesn't serve me anymore. So I'm actually going to just do something that I enjoy. I'm going to tell myself that everything is figuring itself out, that no matter what is happening right now, I am in the exact space or the exact time that I'm supposed to be in. and everything is unfolding for me. The fact that I have a desire means that I'm supposed to experience it because the desire comes through me. And if it's not in my physicality right now, that's just because of my perceptions and how I'm relating everything to past experiences. But the past does not exist because we only live in the present moment. And so it's all about bringing ourselves back into the present moment, eliminate that whole idea of not being worthy, because we are all worthy the moment before we are born, because we are in the whole idea of creation, and in that in itself means that we are worthy of exactly everything that we desire to create. It's, if you could see it, like our purpose to experience everything that we desire, and the only reason why we separate ourselves is because of the perceptions that we choose to hold, the perceptions and beliefs that we choose to fall and believe in, and understand that that is okay, because everything comes at the right time, and validate it all in the moment, because once you validate it, you're identifying it, and you're actually saying that, look, you're the disbelief and all that is a part of the process too, and so I'm just going to validate it and tell it that, you know, it doesn't serve me anymore. Thank you for bringing me here, but I am actually going down the other road now. So now I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to go and watch my favorite movie. I am going to go out and do a bit of shopping. I'm going to go listen to my favorite music, and I'm going to know that everything is unfolding for me. When I think about it, I'm just going to keep thinking those positive assumptions. I'm just going to know that everything is working out in the best way for me, and I'm just going to continue to enjoy my day, enjoy my life, and know how worthy and valuable I am in this existence of reality. So I just thought I'd make a video on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and I'll chat to you soon.